Yeah, it's a nice interaction of the Rin versus Sakura there, which was nice. Nuts. Damn, a lot of big story here. That's a lot of fucking story, brothers. Hmm. Dang, everybody's got fucking one of those motherfuckers in their arms. It says, well, those Trong sisters, or, yeah, John sisters, they are definitely a heroic spirit that's been inscribed in humanity. But do you know any knowledge about those two? Um, I'm sorry, I really don't know them quite well. Hmm. Hmm. Well, at least you're honest. That's good. Well, it would be very rude if we were to talk about it in front of them. So while we're following their path, let's get used. Let's use the database lightly to try to understand who they really are. Essentially, this is some Pokemon shit right there, right? It says before we talk to them again, let's learn a little bit about their history. And she busted out her glasses. The Tron Sister was definitely in the early age of AD. I believe they lived in the north side of the Vietnam. During that time, I believe during the Vietnam, excuse me, the very first time. What the fuck was it? I think it was Chinese. So who were they fighting exactly? I forgot. I think it was like Wu, the Zin Dynasty. Yeah, yeah. Vietnam was in the rule of Han and Zin Dynasty. Blah 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 blah. Biography. Used a treasonous brides. Trung raised her shield to resist the oppression. Oppression. Something called Trung sister. Prime Minister resisted. Han Wu's D's army. The Han Wu Di, the Wu of Han. So yeah. Don't know them other Asian stuff? Damn, that's fucked up. But at the same time, you're not wrong. It says 当時はそこの軍地の支配下の一部、孔子という軍だったんだけど、送り込まれた文人間によるこっちがひどかったものでね。So yeah, essentially they said during that time it was they were under the battle of Wu, right? Is it Wu or Han? I can't remember which one's fucking which. Pretty sure it's Han. Yeah, the rebelling. The two ladies were Vietnamese military leaders. Trunk sisters rebelling. I think that's the easier way to talk about it. Yeah, Han China. Yeah, so they fought the Chinese. Yes, 1/3 of the Chinese, which was the Hans. The very first Chinese Hans. So it says during that time, the Han sent over one of their important people in order to have a political and diplomatic solution in order to take over the land. However, the person who the Han side that they sent over was a very terrible person. Their politics and the way they ruled the land was quite terrible. While the uncertainty and doubt were definitely brewing, the quote unquote their 血が殺されてしまった自分に、妻であった側の妹であるうちはいつい立ち上がり反乱を起こすという、話だよな。It says, the AKA the husband was murdered, who was very valuable and useful in order to in order to better the Vietnam locals, right? But because they were killed using that as a contract, the 妻であった側とその妹である so the wife, the wife who got their husband murdered, and their sister, little sister, they've had enough and finally rose up and revolted, created a revolution. That's kind of the pretty easy gist of it. It's funny because the Chinese don't really mention a lot of them because they got their ass kicked by them, pretty much. The first Chinese definitely got their ass kicked by the Wu sisters, for sure. 100%. 孔子、わらわの知る交流か。だいぶ南じゃな。そこでの反乱とな。It says, oh, I see. Hold it. So you're talking about the Koshu, aka the land that I know very well back then. Very south from what I remember. There was a rebellion there. I see. I feel like, I've heard this tale before. But then again, it's definitely a story of, way further than specifically 600 years in the past of an old tale. It is, and what of it? What of it I will ask in order to pique my curiosity. After all, I know exactly how it ended. It says, ジョン州側を王として抱いて反乱軍は勢いを凄まじく it says, using this war, they claim themselves as a queen. The rebel army's intensity grew and grew. At one point, they were able to take down 65 castles. They were able to take down about 65 castles in total. The topic was very epic. However, in the very end, the army that was sent in the real army that was sent down in front of the great army of, I forgot how it ended. The Han's counterattack. It's with the army of is it army of Ma? Because reaching the high ground, used force to battle the Chung sisters, beheaded several thousand partisans, while more than thousands surrendered to him. Ma Yuan and his staff began mobilizing a Han army in the southern China. Consisted of 20 regulars, 12 regional auxiliaries. From Gugandam, Muyan dispatched a fleet to supply ship along the coast. Imperial army reached the high grounds, and then decapitated Chinese general pushed to victory. Sisters beheaded several thousands, while more than 10,000 surrendered to him. The Chinese general pushed to victory. During the campaign, he explained the letter to his nephew how greatly he detested the groundless criticism of proper authority. Yuan pursued Trang and her retainer, where ancestral state were located, and defeated them several times. Increasing isolation and cutting off of supplies, the two women were unable to sustain their last stand, and Chinese captured both the sisters in early 43. They escaped, ran to a place called Jingshu, and then was not captured until 3 years later. The rebellion was brought under control by April or May. Mao Yu decapitated the sisters and sent their heads to the Han's court of Laoyang. By the end, the Han army has taken full control over the region by defeating the last pockets of resistance. Yuan reported his victories and added, "Since I came to Jiaozi, the current troop have been the most magnificent." So essentially, then came forward. Of course. No matter what sort of circumstances they may be and how powerful they might become. Become if they were to actually try to invade the mainland. Mainland and interstate of our land. Stupid, silly rebellions will not be overlooked as such. After all, it is a rebellion against the great. It is the great against Lord himself. It is quite treason. Even I would suppress them with all my might for certain. Excuse me. I was not supposed to listen in, but I did hear about it, so. Were you two talking about us? Um, well, yeah. Sorry about that. Before we wanted to hear your side of the story, we wanted to make sure we had the least amount of knowledge, or at least a base ground, so we don't feel we don't feel like we're disrespecting you. And so yeah, we thought reading up on it was the best. And if that actually hit your nerves, we want to apologize. Sorry about that, okay? It's no mean to offense. No, no. We're not I am not worried about it whatsoever. It's very embarrassing to talk about ourselves of ourselves anyway. So, who cares? But but anywho, 皆さんのことは向こうに来てから落ち着いてせめて聞いて思うと思っていたんですが、it says I wanted to ask this question when we got to the arrival destination, but now that I've heard the conversation a little bit, I would like to interject. Are you perhaps? Of course, now you finally realize. That's right. I'm the Empress. Oh, come on. Wu Tang, please. You're gonna fucking make them angry. I'm the Empress of the Great Red of China. Of Wu. Of course. It says now, hear and be surprised. After your death, within 600 years, the entire land has become ours. Or mine. Huh. I see. Hmm? You're taking this very easy. I don't know about. I don't know about what happened on the land in quite detailed, but aren't you more of a revolutionary side and against all that sort of thing? Are you not angry? Do you not feel any regrets or hatred towards her? Hmm. I wouldn't say we were having any grudges or hatred towards them. We had to do what we had to do at that time, so. In order to have a normal human being, in order to have a humane life, we had to stand up. And next thing we know, that became a war. It's pretty simple as that, really. So, if there's an empress that's from 600 years from now in front of our eyes, all we can really say is, oh, I see, you know? Hmm. まあ、さすがに肝は触っておるか。その通り、実のところ関係なぞない。我に言えるのは貴様らの物語は愚か者しか出てこないということだけじゃ。It says, it seems it seems that it didn't even phase you, and you're exactly correct on that circumstance. To be perfectly honest, this current standing has no meaning whatsoever. All I can really say is that the stories that've been handed down, handed down by you and ours, there were only cowards that showed. The only cowards that showed in the story, nothing more. Yeah, foolish sisters who started a fight that you would definitely see a losing battle ahead. ような熟語を言ったもののまた愚か and foolishness to the fact that you would politically create the citizens and the countries and the towns itself to pit against one of the bigger countries with no political efforts is quite foolish among foolish. My goodness. どんな異物が命を攻めおったのか。我々は早速、上って死刑じゃ。 So, and then Wu Tang's like, my goodness, what sort of stupid dumbass would, what sort of stupid dumbass was running that southern island area of that political state? If that was I would immediately returned him and executed him on the spot. Essentially, Wu Tang was, Wu Tang's being both angry and she's not really insulting them, right? Wu Tang's kind of saying the fact that you were pushed onto the edge to the point that you had to fight, right? And the fact that you would even fight a war against China, right? Foolish Wu, foolish versus the Wu, right? The Great Army, one of the three great armies, and you would um, constantly create this scenery or environment where battle was necessary. She's actually insulting the person who actually killed the husband of the Trung elder sister, right? And she's saying that who was running this estate, aka who was the vassal, who was the one that was running that area. I would have personally got him and executed him myself. So Wu Tang's kind of pissed at that more than them. Gods. It says 私は無輪当時の抵抗にあったことはなどありませんが、きっとあなたとは違いタイプだったのでしょう。It says of course, I've never met I've never met the emperor of that time. Perhaps you and that person might be a different type, or the way of thinking might have been different. That's all I can say, really. 立場上あまり親しくはできないかもしれませんが、取り立てや取り立て嫌いというわけではないです。It says, on circumstances, I might not be very friendly towards you to an extent, but however, please do understand that I do not hate you nor dislike you. I sincerely agree with what my elder sister said. Her opinions are the same as I. But I'm going to warn you, Empress. If you were to even try to harm my elder sister, I will purge you. Oh. It says, "Oh, I see. It seems the dog can bark." Or, aka, she says, "It seems that you can howl. You can howl. It seems that you can show off your howling." 貴様は姉よりも荒地に慣れておる気がするの。It says, "It seems that you are more accustomed to roughness or the aka war or dirty situation than your dear sister here, aren't you?" It says,まだ何も始まってないうちからギスギスは勘弁してほしいのだわ。It says, yeah, nothing really has started here, so please don't start to quarrel. Don't start a quarrel and create a very thorny relationship. We're trying to cooperate. Remember? Cooperate. ギスギスというか、スタンスの確認というだけですよ。It says it's not very thorny. It's actually just confirming our stand in our beliefs and where we should be, where we stand in front of us. やっぱりかごれない部分というのはお互いにあると思いますから。It says, yeah, whenever it comes to the parts that we will dislike or disagree, I think we both have that, and it's best if we hash it out. 皆さんとは、it says, I would really like to be very friendly and cooperative with each other, including all. Butそれはそれとしてみたいな話です。なのでご心配なく。So it says, but circumstances are circumstances, so please do not worry about that. Oh, by the way, we're almost at our base. There should be some wordings, right? A little more ways to go. Faito o, right? Maybe it was a little old. It's okay. It was, yeah, that's perfectly fine, dear sister. Yeah, dear elder sister. It was very cute and very, yeah, very strong to the highest caliber. まさか入らないやつは。If anybody doesn't get, everybody doesn't get determined by that, they would get, Fido, oh yeah, woo, satisfied and nods. Yes, Fido, oh. Then let us continue, and please watch where you step.